This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting, proudly sponsored by Air Up. I'm in the hotel today. I was just doing some editing and Alexis walked past. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. Just tell me what's going through your mind right now, so soon after the loss to Tommy Fury.
Yeah, I think, just super unfortunate that we were subjected to that kind of decision. Just, I definitely don't take it as a loss. I mean, I look at it kind of like it's a mathematical impossibility. I mean, even if Tommy won 4 rounds out of the 6, which he didn't, but even if he did, with the point deduction, it would have been 3 apiece. So that still would have been a draw. Even if he won 4, which he didn't, because we clearly won rounds 1, 2, and probably 6, or 1, 2, and 5, especially with the point deduction as well. It just doesn't seem that it's, when you actually do the math, it's kind of hard to agree with the judges' scorecards. It's nice to hear everyone's opinion. I mean, everyone's been saying some really cool things towards JJ, and kind of like showing him a lot of love and saying how they thought he won the fight. So it's nice to hear that. It's just unfortunate he didn't get the nod. I feel that it's a little bit, YouTubery against a high name in boxing. I feel like maybe it was a little bit of a YouTuber can't beat pro boxers. I think it was a bit of a division. It's just unfortunate because I think the better man should have won, and that was KSI that night.
Let's just take me back to the start of the fight. What was the game plan? Talk me through it.
I think the obvious thing was Tommy's won every single fight with a jab. He landed one jab the whole fight. We took away his jab. We took away his lead hand and made him fight a fight that he wasn't comfortable fighting. And that's something that no one's ever done with him before. And we took away his jab. That's how Jake Paul lost to Tommy, by letting him establish a jab. We never let him establish a jab, and I think that was one of the key moves that we were focusing on. It is making sure that we weren't statically in range.
That's true. That's a good point. I never thought about the fact that everyone talked about Tommy Fury's jab, and the Jake Paul fight was so prominent. In this fight, KSI landed more jabs than Tommy Fury.
Yeah, in every single fight Tommy's won, he's established his jab.
The jab's been the key part of it.
Yeah, and he had 0 jab. He landed literally 1 or 2 jabs the whole fight. And he got out power punched, and he got outworked in the clinch, and he got a point deducted. It's super difficult. Listen, in a 12-round fight, you can argue around here and around there. In a 6th round, it's a bit of a sprint. Like, if you lose 2 or 3 rounds and you get a point deduction, you can't win that fight. It's not boxing, so it's unfortunate.
Going through the middle rounds of the fight, I think I scored it as KSI winning the first 2.
With the minus point. So that'd be 3 rounds up.
Yeah, 3 rounds up.
Yeah.
And then Tommy Fury took the 3rd. You could have given the 4th was a swing round.
Then we would have won.
And I can't remember the last 2 rounds.
And then we would have won one of those rounds.
Yeah.
So no matter
I
what.
thought KSI did the last, won the last.
100% with the overhand right, the landed as well. I would legitimately, I feel terrible because I'm telling the kid that he's winning the fight. So I mean, I try my hardest to be unbiased when I watch a fight. And if it's not going our way, it's such as life. If it's a better man, it's a better man. You got to be honest with your fighter, and also it can motivate them. You're not winning. You got to dig in. You got to bite your mouth guard. You got to go for the guy. I didn't have to say that to him. I felt like listen, we're up. You keep your bounce on, keep boxing, keep in the clinch. He's not landing anything significant in the clinch. I mean, he was back of the head shotting a lot. He punched after the bell. He got everything you would have expected a YouTuber or a Dylan Dennis or an aggressive someone to do. You wouldn't have expected Tommy to do it, right? We resorted to cheating as well, and he still won the fight, which is mad, because he didn't. But
Tommy,
I sound bitter about it. It's not. I'm just trying to go through it in my head. I'm not. Listen, if the better man, I have no problem with the better man winning a fight. That's not the issue. The issue is he didn't win the fight.
Could you argue that Tommy KSI could have had a point inducted from the clinching that he was doing?
No, it's not my argument to argue that. We have to listen to the referee that's in there. The referee didn't deduct a point. He did deduct a point off of Tommy. So I can only base my opinions on what factually happened in the fight. So I didn't think we deserved a point off. No, not at all. I thought that the clinches we were working in, we were getting good shots off in the clinches. Tommy wasn't. It's hard. We game planned. I could have let JJ loose. Just to try and kill him.
What is that? When you mean let him loose, does that mean just swing for the fences?
Yeah, not swing for the fences, but I could have let him have a bit more of a tear up. But I decided to keep him lineal and to keep it a line fight and limit Tommy Fury's jab because I feel that's the only way he had to win. And I feel like game plan wise we were right. We stopped his jab completely. He didn't land. I mean, how many power punches did he land? 3 or 4 shots for the whole fight? Nothing. We landed like 11, 12 straight right hands. I don't know. It's hard to. You got to watch the fight again. I mean, I've rewatched it. A bunch of us have rewatched it. I got punch stats. On the punch stats, were
the copy box punch stats. They're quite heavy in favour of JJ.
Yeah, they're miles ahead. So I don't know. It's it's a bit awkward.
Is there any chance of being overturned?
Yeah, I mean there should be. It's an appeal. That's what appeals are for. That's what video appeals are for.
Will you guys be putting an appeal in?
Yeah, I mean you have to put an appeal on a decision like that. I mean me personally, when JJ fought Joe Fournier, he had a clear win. Every judge at ringside didn't see the shot that ended up being a forearm, but it got overturned, right? But we have all the judges there, all that were ringside, and the referee was in the ring and he didn't see that shot either. Neither did we until afterwards on the replay. So it is possible to overturn a fight. You know what I mean? So, I mean, hopefully they rewatch it, they count the stats, they look at the power shots, they understand who's in control, who's scoring more power shots, who's controlling the action. I feel that they should give it to us, and I feel that will make a big difference. You know? I think it's you make a mistake as a man, you admit to it. That's kind of how you should live your life.
So I reckon by about Wednesday, then we'll hear. I remember for the Joe Fournier one, they put an appeal in on Sunday, and it was on the Wednesday, I think we heard. So I guess next Wednesday, so this is, what day is today? It's Sunday morning. It's like 2:30 in the morning. So we'll hear about Wednesday, what happens with that. What advice are you giving JJ in the corner, and how did it develop over the course of the 6 rounds?
Yeah, I just thought let's just get a bounce on, not cut the kid's jab out, land a power shot here and there, get to a clinch, do some dirty work in the clinch, get broken up and repeat. If he couldn't break that game, I'd just keep with it for now. We didn't really have to adjust like too many different things because it kept on working all right. Like we would get our shot off and then get a clinch on, and he wouldn't get some work off and we'd work in the clinch. Kind of a pretty easy game plan to have. I didn't want to make it too complex. Like I said, I could have let him loose, but we landed the power punch on the outside. He didn't get to throw his jab. And on the inside, we landed way better quality shots. Our short, choppy right hands were good on the inside. And he got a point deducted. So I kind of didn't really... I don't know, I've been in really high-level boxing fights before. I didn't think we had to change that much. I thought we were winning. I think, yeah.
What was JJ's reaction when you got to the changing rooms?
Yeah, he just thinks this whole thing's a bit of a joke. He's disappointed with the whole thing.
Like kind of frustration, really.
Yeah, also there's a robbery factor, like the kid dies in the gym every day. He trains his arse off. I mean, forget about this pro. I've got 46 pros right now, all training. And we know how pros train. He trains like a pro. Kid kills himself every day in training. And to get robbed like that, it's an ugly look. And it's not like he has to do this, Fred. He doesn't have to do this. Kid's a billionaire. He doesn't have to do this. You understand what I mean? So if he gets a bad taste, maybe he won't do it. It's everyone's loss, because that show tonight was amazing.
Yeah.
That was a great show. And it pushed some mad numbers. We'll do over 1 million buys easy. You know what I mean? It was a mad show.
Every fight was sick. Dean Waleed was amazing. What a fight that was. Pappy Slim, Logan Paul.
Was great, right? What a great sports entertainment event. Those are 2 words that people have to remember. Sports and entertainment. Not just sporting, it's a sports entertainment show. So I loved it. I thought it was great. And, when you get a kid like Logan or a kid like KSI and they get dealt a bad hand, it's just not a good look for them. You know what I mean? So,
do you reckon KSI will retire now? Do you reckon he'll fight again?
Yeah, it's totally up to him. I mean, it's not. I'll be happy with whatever. I'm happy that I did my job in that every single boxing pundit and every single fighter that pissed all over him and said that he couldn't do this and he couldn't do that and he's going to get slaughtered. They should apologise, all of them. Own up, be a man. Oh, Tommy wasn't that good. No, listen, the kid handled himself well. He did 6 rounds and arguably won that fight. I think there should be a little bit more KSI love from the traditionalists. You can't, sorry for bad language, you can't ride Tommy's dick for that. It's a shit performance, or was it a great performance from KSI? Well, who's bad and who's good? Was it a bad day for Tommy or a good day for JJ or shit day? You make your mind up if you're going to be a pundit. Like, I think you have to give JJ his props. So.
One thing I find quite interesting is I think it was a 7-1 underdog in the bookies. And then for someone, when I was in the media table while sitting, someone read out, KSI's a 7-1 favourite now, going into the final round, the 6th round. So even the bookies kind of had it twisted as well.
Yeah, they had it right. Yeah, they had it right. I mean, like I said, going into the last round, I was 100% sure we won the fight. I was like, just get on your bounce, get to a clinch. He's going to not be able to throw any power shots. And you'll nick it easily on decision. Don't try and knock him out. There's no point just yet. Because, we're up in a fight. And the kid's being dangerous, throwing shots to the back of the head, punching off the bell. You've got to be careful with a kid like that. He's experienced, so you might as well just play the odds and keep the fight close and not let him throw any power punches. I don't know, I thought the game plan was fine. I thought it worked out really well. There are loads of things we could have done better, loads of things we didn't do that we should have done, loads of mistakes that we made from our camp, but that's for us to adjust and come back from. But it was nowhere near a reflection of the performance. We still won that fight, in my opinion. But, you know.
I guess it would be good to do an interview in a couple of weeks when everything's kind of cleared. I guess you guys will have a meeting soon of you, Mams, Abs, Jake Morritt, the Nine Street Fighters team, JJ in a few days, and kind of go over what needs to be done and what's the next move in terms of Misfits World, in terms of JJ, in terms of gaming, in terms of his YouTube channel, in terms of music, in terms of boxing. But in your mind, do you think he'll win that rematch if he can get it?
Yeah, look, JJ's he's the kid's a killer, so he always, he just doesn't feel like he needs a rematch. He felt like he won the fight. It's difficult, when if somebody bests you look at someone like Jake Paul and I'm going to get that rematch with Tommy, and I get it because you feel like you didn't win and you have to have it. But when you feel like you won the fight and you're trying to work out how you lost it with the point deduction, it's difficult to say I want a rematch immediately because you're like, well, I just won the fight. He's happy to take a rematch, but also what's going to happen again? What's going to change?
Well,
Same Fury judges. How's it going to happen?
For the rematch, would it be more in Fury's favour, knowing what to expect this time around from KSI?
No, we just had a game plan for him. We can find loads of different ways. That was just a simple plan. With all due respect to the Fury fighting family, I'm not diminishing them. He's not a hard guy to game plan. Just get rid of that front hand jab, and you have a kid that just is a normal fighter. The thing that's special about Tommy is his front hand jab. Once you get rid of that, his range isn't very good. His inside work isn't great, and his power's not. It's not different to JJ's, which is why I thought we won that fight, and we planned it correctly. That's my honest opinion.
That's fair. Yeah. It's good. It's good to catch up with Alexis. I'll let you go because I know the time right now is 2:30 in the morning. You guys aren't going out, just straight to bed?
No, definitely not going out. The job's not done. It's unfortunate. Like I said, for me personally, I'm really upset for JJ. He put his heart and soul into it, and he won it. I would be absolutely content if he got knocked out and lost it, if he put his heart and soul into it. It's just these kind of robberies and these kind of decisions are very hard to swallow in a fighting sport because you put your life on the line and you put your health on the line. And somebody has a decision, which is terrible, that can affect you. So for me, I feel quite strongly about this. For everyone, not anyone who's involved in these decisions, they're heartbreaking because, like I said, it's not like the better man won or that it got taken away from you by somebody who didn't pay enough attention. Like I said, if I was to show you the scorecards, and I'm sitting in front of you now, as I open my phone and I go to the scorecards and I click them.
We'll put them on the screen now. You can airdrop it to me after the interview.
Does that look like a nice scorecard?
Let's read the judge's name. Judge.
No. Look at the scorecard.
10-9.
No, look at the scorecard. You see it? Why can't you see it?
The point didn't get taken off, did it?
What number is it?
56, 57.
No, but what number? What's this scribble here?
So in the second round,
what's the scribble?
we've got it's a massive scribble.
This was done after the fight. How is that? These scorecards should have been handed in. It took them 8 minutes to do, and they were writing at the table. I mean, you tell me if a scorecard should look like this. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Is it 10-9, 10-9, or 10-8?
Should it look like that?
Yeah, that's a perfect scorecard. And there's a middle scorecard here. It's clearly been scribbled out in the blue corner's favour. Onto -1. It's not great.
I don't know, man. I took a picture of it.
Well, it's good you got a photo of that because trust me, you wouldn't have got a photo of those.
Look, there's
those cards.
Right there. So you zoom in, you can see. That should be a 10-8 round to us. They gave that round to Tommy.
Well, the second round.
They gave
so
to Tommy.
the second round where he got the point deducted.
Yeah, it went to a 9-9 because Tommy was winning, and it was a 10-8 round. The other judge gave it 10-8 to us. 10-8.
So both judges gave it 10-8, and then it's 9-9 round. So that was that the judge that gave it to Tommy in the end as well.
Yeah, of course.
So it wasn't. You didn't mess up like that. It would be in JJ's hands, easy.
I just, on a serious note, this shit happens all the time in boxing, which is why I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I hate it, but there's a different level when you're
when your own guy gets the boot.
Yeah, well,
bit of a kick in the teeth.
Yeah, it is, but it's just you're through the process of where he should never have won, right? He should never be fighting Tommy Fury, and he should never be in these sort of fights. Everyone had him as the underdog, and the kid actually wins a fight, and he gets robbed. So it's just like, I'm upset for him. You know what I mean? I'm just upset for him. He's a great kid, and I'm upset for him.
Well, in boxing, when there's a robbery in boxing, people talk about it for a week and then forget about it. Do you think that'll be the same case to this one?
Yeah, look, I mean, like, it's not, like you said, it happens all the time. It's not the end of the world. It's not that. It's just, you've got to understand these ripples have effects. And you've got such a great show, and you've got such a great bunch of kids fighting, and you're putting on an unbelievable event. And these things are, they're not needed in this kind of industry. They're just not. You have to have professionals that are accountable. A judge can't just walk in, scribble out his decision at the end of the fight and write it how he wants to write it.
How do you know he scribbled it out at the end of the fight, though? How do you know he didn't scribble it out after the second round?
Well, you're not allowed to do that. I mean, I saw them writing the cards on the table.
Okay.
That you should give that card. Okay, a referee has a round. Right. What does he do with it when he scores a round? What should he do?
Hand it into the... Well, the judge hands it to the referee.
Yes.
And passes it on, yeah.
So why were all the scorecards on the table? Why were they writing on scorecards? You're not allowed to write on scorecards. It's done. The referee should have all the scorecards and add them up. It's kind of normal boxing. You can't score a fight at the end of the fight. I don't know.
Although it's good you took a photo of those scorecards, because I doubt they'd have probably taken them away and not let anyone take a photo of them. So
I think just from doing it,
I'll put a tweet out in a minute of those scorecards, and I guess those will be heavily used in their appeal for you guys as well.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, I will always take pictures of the scorecards to just so to validate where we're at. But for me, it's not just the scorecards; it's the fact that it took 5 minutes for them to read the scorecards, and they were on the table going over them with a pen, and I'm leaning over and we're taking pictures of them while they're doing it, but while they're trying to make the decision. You can't do that. It's not.
So did you see them scribble on it?
Yeah, they had pens out and they're on the table writing through the numbers. They're right in front of us doing it. You can't. Yeah. Well, like I said, as a boxing, just as a pundit in general, that shouldn't be allowed, should it?
No, not at all.
Let's be real.
Not at all.
Legit, let's be real.
Joel, I can't remember the guy's name. Joel something.
Yeah, I mean that you can't. Is that 10-8? Is that 10-9? What is that? Is that? What about the first one? What is that? You're changing numbers. How are you changing numbers? You've got one.
How can you? If you're in the 6th round, how can you remember back to the 2nd round?
Also, you've got one fucking job. Write a 10 or write a 9 or write a 10 or write an 8. It's not hard to add these things up. Just adding numbers up, coming up with a final score. It's not hard. So to make mistakes, you've got one job. It's unacceptable in my opinion. But again, it sounds bitter and you sound like you're going over it. But I guess because we care so much about our athletes and our fighters, and you want the show to be truthful and you want the audience to understand what's going on, I guess that's why it gets emotional. That it might come across as me being a bitter about it or whatever, but the facts are the facts. So
I'll let you go get on, Alexis. I do appreciate giving this interview at nearly 3 a.m. in the morning. I'll come down to the gym in a couple of weeks, or maybe not a couple of weeks. When the appeal gets made, any news on that, then I'll come down to the gym, catch up with Arms, Michael Vernon Page. They're all at the fight. Yeah. Norbert, they all must have been devastated as well. Yeah, listen, we win as a team, we lose as a team. You can't go to any of the weddings and none of the funerals. Those are the rules of fighting for us. We win and we lose together. So we'll wear it. Awesome. Alexis, thank you so much.
Pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Nice one.